And a blue plaque has been unveiled today in Sussex to one of the most famous astronomers in Britain. Can you guess who that might be? A blue plaque has been unveiled today in Sussex to one of the most famous astronomers in Britain. This man, none other than Sir Patrick Moore.
There it is, the ring has appeared, the corona's vanished, and that is the end of this eclipse of the century. And by Jove, was it worth seeing?
He lived in Farthings in Chelsea from 1968 until he passed away back in 2012, famous throughout that time for presenting the BBC's Sky at Night. Well, today, the Queen guitarist Brian May, who, of course, you're probably aware, has a PhD in astrophysics, unveiled the plaque. And I'm happy to say that Brian joins us on the programme right now. Brian, thank you so much for being on BBC Sussex. Did you know Sir Patrick personally?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah, for many, many years, yeah. He was like a surrogate uncle to me, I guess, and a great inspiration, and really the prime reason that I was able to go back to astronomy after 30 years and get the doctorate. So he was a massive influence on me as a kid and also as an adult.
He was, or he came across, at least, you may correct me, as an eccentric, to say the least. That appeared, though, to be genuine. And do you think that eccentricity added to his appeal and, in a way, made his area of expertise more accessible to laymen who were almost as fascinated with him as they were with the subject?
Yeah, I think we probably see him as an eccentric because he's from a different age. He's the last of a breed, really, the old-style gentleman astronomers. And if you asked him a question about the moon or whatever, he wouldn't say, well, I'll look it up on the internet. He'd say, oh, yes, I can tell you, if you turn left at Archimedes, you go straight on and you'll find it. And it was as if he was there and he could guide you through the universe. There's a talent which is pretty much gone now. I mean, having said that, Dr. John Mason, who was part of the inauguration today, is also a wonderful astronomer in that kind of class. But Patrick was a one-off, there's no doubt about it, and he would be sorely missed. And he is. I don't think people realised quite what a national treasure he was until he was gone.
Farthings that we're talking about here, which is where the plaque has been put up, presumably then is a particularly good, or was during Sir Patrick's lifetime, a particularly good location if you're interested in the sky at night.
It was, yes. I'm sitting in his garden right now where all the telescopes were. And it was a good place for astronomy, yes, if it wasn't cloudy. And, of course, Patrick did attract clouds, as astronomers do. So often we came down here and we got clouded out. But sometimes there was just a magical evening when we'd be here and the stars would be bright. And we had a fantastic evening, I remember, looking at meteor showers. And his biggest telescope dome, the base of it is still here, and it's been converted into a monument to him, a moon monument to Patrick Moore.
Wonderful.
So I'm sitting right next to that at this moment. And
2012, we lost him. How much more do we... you may not be able to answer this in a sentence, but how much more do we know since we lost him? I mean, he will have missed out on all sorts of developments, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Astronomy is moving so fast, yes. And he would have been right up with it. His brain was incredibly active right up to the end, even though his body was failing. Yeah, he would have been right up into black holes and everything. He kept abreast of everything. And the great thing about Patrick was he could communicate that thrill and that enthusiasm to generations of people who became astronomers, including myself. Yeah. And I think you talk to any British astronomer of any generation and they'll say Patrick is the reason I'm here, very largely.
And today you swapped a guitar for presumably a drill and a Phillips screwdriver to attach this plaque to the wall. What do you think he would have made of the blue plaque?
I didn't use this screwdriver. Somebody screwed it to the wall. Well, he would be proud. He would be happy. Yes, yeah. Definitely, yeah. He was proud of his contribution, and it was a very big one. He broke the world record for a program which was presented by one person for 55 years, the same presenter, which is incredible. He only missed one show due to a rogue egg that he ate and became poisoned.
Oh, dear.
But he's an incredible man and a lovely, light, generous, compassionate man who was never too busy to help a young astronomer.
Wonderful. One final question. I don't suppose you regret anything you've done in music as opposed to not being involved in astronomy, but it's a close second?
I always thought I did astronomy a favour by going into music, really.
All right.
Because I didn't have a very high opinion of myself as an astronomer. I mean, I have a little bit more confidence now I've come back to it. But I'm very happy to be able to span the two worlds. And I think the worlds are closer together than they've ever been. I don't think we have that feeling anymore that you can either be an astronomer or a scientist or a musician, and you have to choose. You don't actually have to choose. You can be a complete human being and be interested in everything. That's my theory.
Very good. All right. Well, people would argue you did us all a favour by going into music as well. But Brian, thank you so much. Yes, definitely. And thanks so much for joining us on BBC Sussex today as Queen guitarist Brian May, who's been there for the unveiling of the blue plaque at Farthings in Chelsea, the home of the late great Sir Patrick Moore, who died back in 2012. So forever, his name will be on the building, which was his home for so long. And rightly so. The time now, 5:45.